Hello on YouTube, hello on Twitch. Hope the video quality on this is okay. I had to turn it down slightly. Wasn't having problems with it before, but now we kept getting coding errors. It's probably more software bloat from Microsoft or gosh knows what. Every time they do an update, it just takes a little bit more RAM. Windows stinks. Or garbage company that has a near monopoly. I mean, operating systems are close to natural monopoly. It's too bad, you know, the Cold War ended, the Soviet Union's not around, because they probably would have created eventually a very high quality, always a little bit outdated but reliable, just like Soviet cars. They were extremely reliable. They were the kind of cars that would last you 20 years, but they were not them. They were tended to be gas guzzlers and not always the most comfortable, so there were always trade-offs. But they would have created a competing, probably free, although Gorbachev did start trying to monetize Soviet technology to the world in the 80s. Before that, they would provide a lot of stuff that was free to use. But, you know, a more reliable operating system that doesn't have the software bloat that Windows does. And, of course, I'm sure the US government declared it security risk, so maybe not, because we're an evil empire that professes to believe in competition until that competition hurts us, and then we stick tariffs on things or whatever. Sometimes even when it hurts ourselves. So I was looking at how to improve this Demon Hunter deck. I decided to craft a Flag Runner. It's not great card, but it does fit with this being a tempo deck. Pumpkin Peasant is more of a delay. I mean, Lifesteal is good and all. Of course, there is the problem here of I'm trying to get a certain amount of healing. So maybe Lifesteal, maybe I keep it. Satyr Overseer, it's just too vulnerable to crowd control. Anything that deals 2 damage to all, and I keep finding stuff like this. Flag Runner is less vulnerable, so even though it's probably a little less effective offensively, it can still, you know, if the turn it summons, like a couple things die in, and a couple before attacks next turn, then it's up to like 5 attack, which is almost as good as the 6 the Satyr Overseer gives with its Satyr. And that's conditional on the hero attacking, which won't happen every single turn. And the Flag Runner will psych out enemies. They won't want it to get to be like 8 attacks, so they'll focus on killing it, as well as it being less vulnerable to crowd control. The problem is, I guess partially it's not a demon, like the Satyr Overseer. Some of these things are demon only, though that's more a warlock that has a... If this is demon... In fact, no, actually I don't see any of that. There's some demons in Demon Hunter, but it's warlock that has like the Demon Wrath card and stuff. So then I don't really need them to use what works. Okay, still not a great deck, but slight improvement. Anyways, for those new to my channel, welcome. Return viewers, welcome back. Hope you've been taking care of each other and being kind to yourselves. This is... no, that's legendary. I guess I already did the healing. Pumpkin Peasant could go bye-bye then. What would I replace it with? Pumpkin Peasant is more about buying time. Problem with the Demon Hunter deck, and this is a tempo deck. Tempo decks, it just doesn't fit. Who's that? I could double up, yeah, Blade Dance. With a simple weapon that can be powerful. Yeah, let's do double up on the Blade Dance. There we go. It's an uncraftable. Rare. Rare effects, I guess, the card draw chance. Anyways, for new folks and those who haven't done this yet, who are returning viewers, do check my YouTube channel page. I got over 24 games, over 50 playlists. over 1,100 videos getting towards 1,200. Not all out of the buffer yet, so the number you see will be less, but I can tell you I produced like 1,170 something videos. Working hard at trying to grow my YouTube, Twitch, where I can monetize it. Fortunately, with my long COVID, my energy is very limited. I produced, I think, 3.5 hours of content yesterday. 3 hours and 15 minutes, I think it was, which is good for me. That's kind of my energy gives out 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 4. That's why I can't work any job, since, well, you could say, oh, a 4-hour shift. The problem is that's when I don't have to leave the house to commute. If I commute somewhere, I have about 3 or 2 hours of energy left, which is not enough for even a 4-hour shift. And with my long COVID, I need extra breaks. I can't work. Like, even if I could do it 4 hours, I can't do it continuously. I need like a break every half hour, which usually if you get a 4-hour shift, you get 1 break. Normally, I would need like 8 breaks or something, like way more than usual, or at least 5. No employer is going to make the accommodations for my disability. I mean, I might mean that I'm actually working more than 4 hours total, like 5-hour shift or something with extra breaks, but they're not going to do it, is the point. They'll hire someone healthy. But Social Security saying, based on your age and education, you could adapt to other work. It's like, no, I couldn't. Just a little bit too sick for that, and they know it. But they'd rather see me starve, die, homeless. And yet, so I'm up at a family cabin. I was in the ER like a week ago. I came back from trying to get my roommate evicted. He was threatening to kill me. Judge tried to get him removed, restraining order removed from the apartment. The judge ruled in my favor after the roommate literally admitted to the judge he had threatened to hurt me once. He had done it dozens of times, but it's almost like I wonder if he didn't somehow compromise my data security, because there was one really good recording I had of it, and he admitted to that particular time, but I know he did a bunch of others. So, I don't know if this guy had friends in the police department or something. I think he was former gang, and you'd be surprised how many police officers are former gang members, especially in this area. Like a Hispanic guy, and I think he's old enough he would have been retired from the gangs, but air quote retired. Sometimes police and military can actually be part of gangs. It's a huge problem in the U.S. There was this documentary about it a while back. There were a lot of murders that were going on, drug-related, near one of the U.S. U.S. Army bases, I think it was, in Georgia or something. And it had a lot of that to do with people getting recruited in who were part of gangs into the military. And they continue to be a part of those gangs. So, continue to do drugs and illicit activity while in the military. Less of a problem with the police, but still a problem in some departments. So the police got access to the folder of the recordings I had, and then he just conveniently knew exactly what I had recordings of. There was no question of what he was saying, and which were more sketchy. It's a little suspect. But the judge was like, if I listen to this recording, I can hear you saying, then he admitted the one time he had threatened to beat me up, to quote, F me up. I'm not going to say that word because of censorship. Anyway, so I do use, so I'm up at the family cabin I returned to, but I pushed myself too hard. Sleep deprivation, long COVID, stress, post-exertion malaise, and not getting a chance to pre-rest before normally a long drive back up to a family cabin, staying with it, be away from the roommate until the landlord gets rid of him. Which apparently with the court case should be a little easier, because there's now a record of the guy threatening me, and so if the guy tries to fight the landlord not renewing his lease in housing court, you can say, well, there's a record of you threatening to hurt one of the other tenants. I'm no obligation to let you know, it's supposed to be at will renewing a lease, but very often people can fight it and delay it in housing court. So anyway, so I've been using dating apps because I'm in this cabin alone, little social interaction besides talking to you folks, the audience. And I ran into someone who's like, oh, I don't read the news. I'm like, so okay, here's a very moderate headline from YouTube. What do you think about it? And then they unmatched. Unfortunately, I'm a little upset about this, but really, this person is probably what the Germans had a word for this. Uns die Schweinen. Literally one of the swine. Because as America goes fascist, there are people like this who are going to stick their head in the sand, pretend they don't care about anything that's happening, that's irrelevant to their lives, until, some masked officer literally comes and shoots someone they know. These are the people who in Nazi Germany went along with the fascists, the Nazis, just by pretending none of it was happening. One of the swine, one of the pigs, is literally what that means. Schwein is the German word for hog or pig. M is plural, and it's one or one of. My German's a little rusty, but I remember seeing this phrase. Didn't learn in the language class. Learned it from actually an online quiz of all things. What would you have been if you were alive in Nazi Germany? It was way back when dating app. This is around my age, but back when OkCupid had tests, and I did look up, and that was grammatically correct. That was indeed a word and a phrase the Germans had for the people who went along with the fascists. I just slash the feral gibber. Might even do this.
Vengeance is mine.
The critter caretaker will undermine it. Expect this guy will try and remove even that. Are you kidding me? So I'm a little bit annoyed about that, because there's people who are just going to stick their head in their sand and ignore what's happening in the world until it comes right to their doorstep. I'm sorry, that's overpowered. All minions are hand +1/+1 for just 1 mana? And how is that a common card? That should absolutely be a rare better with the quality. Well, I guess it's good that Blizzard isn't making all the really powerful stuff rare. I guess it's because not enough people play Druid, so they want to incentivize it. But... Because now, when there's a little more of an opportunity cost to... If I'd done this on turn 1, I could have guaranteed a chance to hit the hero before. Why didn't I not? Because I'm not thinking clearly, I'm too distracted. No, he's gonna shapeshift it anyways.
Nice to meet you.
Froze the hero so he can't shapeshift and attack the glacial shard, whatever, this turn. Critter Caretaker almost works against... I mean, it kind of does work against the tempo. The thing is, it's above the mana curve. Number 1, number 2. I do it attacking with me. Hero makes it just a bit more of a mid deck, but I should probably get rid of this and replace it with something better. More thematic. Are you kidding me? Give all... 0 cost, give all minions your deck +2/+2. What?
I grow impatient. Demons? Demons.
Lifesteal.
I already struck. Chill out.
I'm thinking about the critter caretaker. I think I need to get rid of it. It prevents quickly burning up the enemy heroes before get out their bigger stuff. It's just not a good idea.
Folks, Who goes there?
Come
Gives me
closer,
some
critter.
field control. I'm expecting some kind of crowd control, but we'll just wipe that out. Quite possibly. Or that, I suppose. Should play a minion, give it a random bonus effect. Sure. This
Time has come. Dethrone the master.
Elusive. Okay.
I already
Critter. Caretaker. Still a bad idea. It fine-tunes exactly when I win, but I've already burned through my card hand. It works against the rest of my deck. I'm getting rid of it after this fight. So you lose this overpowered dragon deck. I have the white dragon decks.
All I see is weakness.
Lifesteal, huh? Okay.
His reign ends
I'll
now.
shelter you.
It's not even healing me, it's only healing the enemy. Bad idea. I'm still winning this fight.
We must stop this corruption.
Guess this isn't a true rush deck. So, still. I figured to get rid of that in case I got poisonous or something. Alright, well I desperately need to take this down.
We're with you. On your lead. His reign ends now.
I'll shelter you.
Shadowhoof with me.
But yeah, I dislike people sticking their head in their sand. On the other hand, I'm having great conversations with a different person who cares very much about politics. But in the mid, they used to care less when they were younger and grew, which is fine as a mistake of youthfulness to think it doesn't matter. But you've got to grow up and realize this is life and death for some people. Eventually.
One day, I'll be a real knight.
Doesn't much matter if the hero does it or that. Something's gonna have to push through there. Too early there. You know what? I'm conceding. This is not gonna go my way. No way.
For now.
Creature Caretaker is very much a mistake. Okay. Doesn't make sense for even a early mid to a rush deck. Only makes sense for long-term control where you wait for big minions. Why I thought that Critter Caretaker would make sense, I don't know. One point I did. Give your hero +1 attack this turn. Could do Beaming Sidekick. Give a friendly minion +2 health. Can often make the difference between something surviving and not. Or Feral Gibberer. Everyone is always trying to wipe it out. Always. Or Firefly. More modest, but still some minion spam. Gonna be a one cost that is worth it here. Things actually have unlocked. Beaming Sidekick it is. It's a low cost thing. It does give me a little more endurance, but without, you know, benefiting the enemy hero the way the critter caretaker does. Still slightly fine-tunes to a slightly slower match. Alright, I'm gonna lay down for a second. My energy is not great today. Maybe finish off some coffee before it's too late. Shifting my sleep some. I keep getting up too late to do some things I need to do before like 4:30. But also, I mean, that takes a long time, and if I try and do it too fast, it's brutal on my body. It's more, I also need energy for streaming and such. And lay down under a blanket, warm up. I'm also feeling very cold. Alright, so I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. And may you always find a guiding star lead home. Until next time, it's Northstar. Adieu. And best luck to you all.